What's an event that you wish you could have been a part of? I'll go first. Mine would be the Willy Wonka pop-up shop. Hello. You're currently on the phone with KCK. Yep, that's me. I meant to talk about this 2 weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, and I forgot. This happens all the time. I forget to say things that I want to say. If I don't write it down, if it's not in my little notebook, it most likely will not get remembered and put in the podcast episode. So I'm like late to this topic or trend or whatever. But if you haven't seen the Willy Wonka pop-up shop, you probably are outliving your best life, free of social media and, frolicking through the fields and getting sunshine. But like the rest of us, we got to see this horrible, horrible put, what am I trying to say? This horrible event that was put on by, I don't even know who they were. I don't know if they were just like an event company or if they were just people that decided to do this Willy Wonka thing. But if you don't know what it is, in Glasgow, I actually don't know where that's at. Is it in the UK? We're just gonna say it's in the UK. This there was an ad for a Willy Wonka experience, and they did it like AI generated. So like the poster looked like so magical and fun, and they get to this abandoned warehouse, and it is like not even decorated. There's like one poster you stand in front of. You can take a picture. There's this there's this table with this lady behind it who looks like she's like in a meth lab. Like it seriously, the table is full of all these like beakers and stuff, and it looks like she's cooking meth. And she has a green wig. The costumes were from like Party City. Was it Willy Wonka? It was. And so he was there, but there's no chocolate anywhere to be found, first of all, which is strange considering it's a chocolate factory. They gave the kids one jelly bean, and there was a quarter cup of lemonade for each of them. This sounds so ridiculous, but this is all true. And the girl was like, yeah, I was told to give each kid one jelly bean. I'm sorry, this is just so stupid. And she's like, but I was being nice, and I ended up giving them three because I felt bad. Like all the workers like were so confused, and none of them knew. I guess they were getting paid and they needed the money, but because they kept going through with it, it kind of reminded me of Fire Festival, where it's like, from like the very beginning, this is a bad idea, but you still go through with it for some reason. This is pretty much how it was. They had AI generate this script that made no sense. It was the plot was like there's an evil chocolate maker that was hidden in the walls, and it was called the Unknown. That was the name of the villain, and the way that Willy Wonka was going to get rid of him was to suck him up with a vacuum. And he's like, okay, do you guys have a vacuum? They're like, oh, well, we haven't got that far yet, so just pretend. Like, they just had to make up all this stuff. And, like, parents were pissed. They called the police. Like, it was so, so funny. And it was just all over the internet. Like, people were having a heyday with it. And it was on Twitter. That was, like, where the most of the funny stuff was on Twitter. And everyone's like, that was during the time when Kate Middleton was, like, missing. And the Unknown had a mask on, like a silver mask, and everyone's like, you can't fool me, I know Kate Middleton when I see her. They said she was the Unknown. Oh, anyway, I just had to bring that up because I forgot to talk about it, and I think it's so funny. And people online are hilarious, and it's like you wonder if these people have actual friends or like lives, and if they're funny in real life or if they're just funny on the internet. I don't know. But just the quickness they can come up with stuff is so funny. Like, because there was like 7 other plots that people were like tying in with this one, and just the way that they can connect all these things is so funny. Anyway, that is your morning. I don't even know what I would call it, but happy daylight savings to everybody. I don't hate daylight savings. I guess it can be annoying, but some people like literally hate it, and they get so angry about it. And I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. I personally wish it would get lighter in the morning. That's what I wish would happen. But there's nothing like in the summertime when it's almost 9 o'clock and it's still light out. Even though I do like to go to bed early, but there's just something about those summer nights, and I cannot wait. We're so close. We're so close to spring. We're like, what, 10 days away from springtime? Oh, I'm so excited, you guys. So excited. I need sunshine to survive. I will literally die if I don't get it. um, yeah, like people that live in these cloudy cities and stuff. I'm like, how do you guys do it? Like when I went to Ireland, I don't think we saw the sun once. I mean, it was in winter, so that, has something to do with it. But yeah, generally in Utah, I would say it's 50-50. Sunny and cloudy in the winter. But in the summertime, it's basically sunny every single day. And if it rains for like 3.5 minutes here and then it's done. But yeah, spring is like my favorite time of the year. Well, one of them. I think summer is probably my favorite. Spring just seems like there's hope in the air, like your dreams can come true. It's like a fresh start, and it's just a time you can, regather your ambitions and your goals, and we're getting out of the cold climate. Everyone's starting to warm up and go outside again, and the flowers start to bloom and the trees start to bud, and it's just it's fun. And here on the farm, you get to see all the baby animals being born, all the sheep and the horses and the calves, and it's just a good time. It's just like there's hope. I don't know how else to explain it. There's just hope in the air when spring arrives. And then, yeah, it's just not gloomy anymore. I hate when it's gloomy. I hate it. I like probably November and December to be cold and like cozy, like, sit by the fire and have snow and all that kind of stuff. After that, I do not like it. It's just miserable. January and February are the most awful months of the entire year because you're just like stuck indoors and I don't know, there's just nothing to do. It gets old very, very fast. And it's just miserable. It's so miserable. And like in the winter, I basically leave in the dark and come home in the dark. Like that's my life. And I hate it. So in summer, when I can leave when it's light and come home when it's still light, I love mowing the lawn. That's one of my favorite things to do. I love going for runs outside. I love going for walks outside, especially in the morning. My friend Sandy and I used to do that every morning one summer. It was the summer that iHeartRadio was really popular, or one of them. And we would go for a walk every single morning. And we'd walk down to the end of town and go around the cemetery, which sounds, morbid, but it's not. I actually like cemeteries. Me and my stepsister sister-in-law were talking about this. They're just like calm and peaceful. So that's what we do. And I specifically remember somebody I used to know was like the song that played over and over and over again. It was so popular on all the radio stations. And it just felt good. It was like, wasn't too hot yet. It was just right. The sun was out. The birds were chirping. Yeah, it was a great time. But anyway, I'll stop reminiscing now. One other thing I forgot to talk about, which I cannot believe, this is 2 weeks old, I know for sure, because I was sitting in the airport waiting to get on my plane to go to Hawaii. Katy Perry went to Taylor Swift's Eras Tour in Sydney, and they got a picture together, and it was just magical. When I saw that, I'm pretty sure I gasped out loud in the airport, and for good reason. I mean, this has been a tumultuous time in my life having these two fight, and they're two of my favorite celebrities of all time. And I don't know, just seeing them not like each other was really hard. I know they've made up since like 2019. So obviously they're, better now, but they haven't really had any connection or anything since then, since the music video they were in with Taylor Swift's "You Need to Calm Down" music video. And if you're wondering why they're dressed as a hamburger and French fries, it's because Katy Perry was dressed as a hamburger for the 2018 Met Gala, or it could have been 19. So that's why. Like at the end, they go up and hug each other, and Katie's in the hamburger and Taylor's in the French fry. So if you're confused about why that is, that's why. But yeah, she went there. It surprised me. She took pictures. It looks like before, because she's wearing the lover outfit, and usually she doesn't have guests come before the show because she like rests her voice or whatever for like 2 or 3 hours before the show. But I guess when you're Katy Perry, it doesn't really matter. You can go visit whenever you want. She was there with Rita Ora, and who else was there? There was someone else there. I can't remember who it was. And then I think the next night, Rebel Wilson went. And she was like dancing with Taylor's dad and singing and recording, and you could tell he's just kind of like, okay, she's like singing at the top of her lungs next to him while she's filming them. But speaking of Rebel, she has a book coming out April 2nd. It's called Rebel Rising. I actually bought a copy already. It's a signed one. But I got to thinking I should have just waited like till it came to Barnes & Noble, because shipping was almost $10. I guess it's her memoir. So that should be interesting. I think she's a lawyer. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere once that she is a lawyer. Should we find out and see? Rebel Wilson. You don't really see her in much anymore. I wonder why. In 2000, the Pitch Perfect star left the University of South Wales with 2 degrees, a BA in Theatre and Performance Studies, and a Bachelor of Laws. Wow. I don't even have 1 degree, so that's pretty good. Those are two very different degrees to go for, and pretty, I guess, hard degrees, I would think. It would be really hard to be an actor. I was thinking that last night during the Oscars. I'm like, you have to like be so comfortable being vulnerable and weird in public, like in front of people. And I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. Well, I know I couldn't do that, but it's just like you have to be just so comfortable in your own skin and being able to do weird things on a whim. And I'm definitely not like that. Unless some of you think I'm weird, then maybe I am, but I don't know, just like, I just think of the scene all the time in The Kardashians. I think it's the 2nd season when they go to that acting class, and the teacher's like, okay, now you need to scream hat, but you need to do it with like hate, and the lady's just screaming hat, 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 like so angrily, and the teacher's like, okay, that's all, and then she just stops. I'm like, how can you just do that? But that's the sign of a good actor, I guess. I don't know. I think it'd be fun to be an actor, but the thought of having to go through all those acting classes and you never know what you're going to have to be told to do and like get up in front of people, and I guess if you're good at it, what does it matter? But I don't know. Anyway, Rebel Wilson's book, Rebel Rising, comes out April 2nd. I'm sure it'll be pretty much everywhere, but for sure Barnes & Noble. What else should we talk about? I want to talk about the Oscars at the end, so I will get to that. But after the Oscars, the news came on, and so we don't have satellite dish anymore, and so for award shows, that's basically the only time I used the TV anyways, like the satellite, and So it's hard now when these award shows happen and I don't have, something for sure to watch it on. Like yesterday, I got to thinking it was like a half hour before it started, the Oscars, and I'm like, wait a second, what am I going to watch it on? Is there a streaming service I can watch it on? Like, luckily, CBS pretty much streams all of their award shows on Paramount. And NBC streams all theirs pretty much on Peacock. But for some reason, ABC won't. And I'm like, that's really annoying. All the options were get Hulu Live TV, get YouTube TV, get Sling TV, like all these things you had to pay for. I'm like, I don't want to pay for all these. I don't want to pay for any of these. So I remembered I bought this thing at work years ago, and it's like an old antenna thing, and you just plug it into the back of your TV, and you get like 5 or 6 channels, but one of them you always get is ABC. So that's what I watched it on this old. I guess it's not old, but it's an antenna thing that you like string up on the wall and hang. But anyways, after that, the news came on, and they said they did a little segment. Napoleon Dynamite is 20 years old now. That is so disgusting. that, I mean, but it makes sense. The movie, it seems pretty old, I will say. Like, thinking back about it, I kind of barely remember it when I saw it the first time. But at the same time, it feels like just the other day. Like, my dad was watching it one night, and I went and sat on the couch and watched it with him. And it seems like just the other day. But I'm like, no, that was 20 years ago. And the fact that stuff is happening now in my life that is decades old makes me violently ill. But yeah, I guess the guy that he's the principal, I guess, he was being interviewed. He says in the summertime they get at least one person every day that wants to come to the school and have a tour of the school. And people like go to Preston, Idaho just to see like the houses that they filmed in and all that stuff. There's so many funny parts in that movie, but the funniest one I think to me is, well, I'll start with my third funniest and then go up. Probably the third funniest thing I think is when they're in that couple's house trying to sell them those bowls, and their gift they get is a ship in a bottle, and they're like not interested in the guy's like, Uncle Rico's like, well, if you sell this, you get this as a gift, and it's that boat thing. And the lady leans over to her husband. She's like, I want that. I say that all the time. I want that. The second funniest thing I think is the guy when they're at the farm and you can't understand that guy. And apparently that guy they just asked him to stand in and like say a story. And that's how he talks in real life, that mumbling guy. And just them stirring the eggs. Oh, and the egg sandwiches and the egg drink. And then when he's like, well, forgot my checkbook. Hope you don't mind if I pay you in change. They get home and count the change. He's like $6. It's like $1 an hour. That show, like who? Oh, anyway, whoever came up with it is just pure genius. And the thing I think is the funniest is when that lady's standing outside and Kip's gonna show her how strong the bowl is, and so he puts it under the tire and runs it over, and obviously it breaks, and the lady's just standing there like no emotion on her face, nothing, and it pops and breaks, and he's like, dang it, and then he just drives away. Oh my gosh, I can't get enough of that movie. Anyway, yeah, so it's 20 years old, you guys. So there's that sad news for everyone. Forbes released their highest paid, what am I trying to say? Actors in 2023. And for some reason they started at 6. I don't know why they didn't do like 10. Maybe it just wasn't as cool. The other ones weren't as major. So number 6 is Jennifer Aniston. She made $42 million. This is all after taxes too, so they sound a little less cool, I guess you could say. $42 million would still be amazing to me, but that's just me. She makes a lot of money from the morning show, and she's a producer on it. And obviously, she still gets tons of money from Friends, the residuals from that. Matt Damon was second. He made 43 million. I'm trying to think what all he was in. Was he in that shoe movie with Ben Affleck? I think he was. Air. He was in Oppenheimer. He was in. What else was he in this year? There was one other one. I just thought of it. Anyway, apparently he's done pretty well. Ryan Gosling is next with 43 million. Tom Cruise with 45 million. He produces tons of stuff too. So, no, wait, I'm missing some because I remember someone was complaining that Denzel Washington was last. Hang on. Okay, I knew it was weird that it started at 6. I don't know why I did that just on Instagram. It made no sense. Let me close this stupid ad. How do I get out of here? Oh my hell, I hate all these ads everywhere all the time. Like, leave us alone. Okay, number 10 is Denzel Washington. He made 24 million. Ben Affleck, 38 million. Yeah, Affleck not only starred as Nike exec Phil Knight in Air, but also produced the movie, which raked in $90 million globally. He started another film called Hypnotic. I never even heard of that. He also had that huge deal with Dunkin' Donuts. So there's that. Jason Statham, 41 million. He's 56. That's crazy. The Beekeeper. I saw that everywhere. I never went and saw it, but I heard it was good. He starred in Expendables. I didn't know that came out. Meg 2, The Trench, and Fast 10. I'm guessing that's what the X means. Leonardo DiCaprio, 41 million. Wow. Why did he make so much? Did he really make that much from one movie? The 49-year-old Oscar winner starred in 2023's Killer of the Flower Moon. He made that much money from one movie? I'm sure he made other, revenue somehow. But that's crazy. Jennifer Aniston. Okay, here we're back to the beginning. 42 million. The morning show. Was Murder Mystery 2 last year? I feel like that is so old. That's the one on Netflix with Adam Sandler. Those ones are good. I like those movies. Matt Damon, 43 million. The 53-year-old starred as Leslie Groves in Oppenheimer. The Christopher Nolan film raked in more than 957 million worldwide. Holy crap, that's so much money. Ryan Gosling, 43 million. He played Ken, obviously. I wonder if that's... I wonder how that works, because obviously he got paid like a base rate, and I'm guessing he gets a percentage of whatever the movie makes. So the movie made $1.4 billion. So he must get because Margot Robbie's on this list too. So he must get a cut of the percentage of what the movie makes. Tom Cruise made 45 million. Coming off the heels of 2022's hit Top Gun, Cruise, who's 61, returned to the long-time running Mission Impossible series for Dead Reckoning Part 1, grossed more than 567 million worldwide. Crazy. Margot Robbie, 59 million, 33. Obviously she played Barbie. I don't know if she did anything else. Robbie was also the movie's producer. Yeah, I knew that. Let's see. Barbie raked in more than 636. This is saying dollars, but I think it's supposed to be million in its first weekend in the U.S. Wow. Okay, and Adam Sandler, 73 million. Sandler owns his own production company, Happy Madsen. That's like at the beginning of pretty much, I guess, all of his movies, when that guy is golfing and he's like terrific and he hits the ball and it smashes the glass or whatever. Murder Mystery 2 for Netflix. The 57-year-old extended his deal with Netflix in 2020 to produce 4 films for the streaming service. Besides the creating films and behind the camera, Sandler also does stand up. He grosses more than $400,000 per show. Holy crap. It makes sense. When I went to his show, there was tons of people there, so it doesn't surprise me at all. It was pretty fun. Like, he had, like, on the stage with him, like, 7 guitars, and he'd just pick one up randomly and start playing it and sing a song. Like, it's like, but the song was like a funny monologue. I don't know how to explain it, but it was good. And I can see, I guess I wonder how much the tickets were. $400,000 per show. The Delta Center holds, I think, 16,000 people, but obviously that backside you don't use because no one can see what's going on. So there's always this part where the stage is that the seats are empty, unless you're at the Eras tour. You're behind the stage. That's almost been a whole year since I went to the Eras tour. I can't believe it. It just makes me so sad because it feels like just like yesterday. That's how it always feels with everything nowadays. Everything feels just like yesterday, and nope, it's a year or 5 ago. Anyway, so I'm guessing he did mostly arenas, and the audience attendance was probably 12,000 per show. I don't know why I'm trying to do math, like I'm going to be able to come up with the answer, but I'm just like giving you an idea of how many people are at each show to make 400,000 per show. Crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Did you guys see? Okay, this is so bizarre. Did you guys know Gal Gadot was pregnant? If you don't know who that is, she's the new Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, sorry. She had another baby. She posted about it. I'm like, whose baby is that? Obviously it was hers because she was like fresh out, like in the hospital. Like, but I'm like, I had no idea she was pregnant. She has 4 kids. 4. She has 4 girls. I'm like, when do you have time to do all this? That is just insane to me. But I didn't even know she was pregnant. I guess it makes sense because you haven't really seen her out much, but I don't know. Sorry, this daylight savings is really getting to me. Yeah, I wonder how much time she takes off from work and what she does. But yeah, she has a baby, so she has 4 girls, and I just can't even imagine having 4 girls, let alone 1 child. I can barely get myself up and ready for the day. But, you know, to all those parents out there, kudos to you. I could never do what you're doing. I guess I should say I never could. I'm 900% sure I'm not going to have a kid. But, you know, if I ever meet someone and it just happens, because it just wouldn't just happen, but if we decided to have a kid, I think I could do it when but I just don't see that for me, especially right now, financially, there's literally no way. And the fact that there's no one in my life that wants me. But yeah, I always think about that. I'm like, do I really not want kids, or do I just not want them right now? Because like obviously growing up in Utah, everyone has kids at like 21, 20, 19 pretty much, and it's like, so by the time they're in their 30s, their kids are teenagers, and I'm like, I'd be, maybe even starting having kids in my 30s, and my friends' kids would be, almost adults. Just so disgusting to think about. Anyway, how did I even get on that subject? Oh, Gal Gadot. Yeah, anyway, she has a baby. She's supposed to be, she's the witch in... Oh, no, I don't want that. She's the witch in the new Cinderella. I'm on IMDb right now, and just letting you know Kung Fu Panda 4 is coming to theaters. Let me see if it shows me when it's coming. I think it's this weekend. But it doesn't have like Angelina Jolie and Lucy Liu and like all those other characters in it. It's just him and then a new one, and the new one's Awkwafina. I'm sure it'll still be good. I just think it's weird. I wonder if all their contracts ran out or if it was like a budget tight show. But it's DreamWorks. And DreamWorks is owned by Steven Spielberg, who I googled yesterday. I knew he was worth a lot of money. I was thinking like 800 million. I don't know why I thought that, because I just looked up his net worth. He's worth $4.8 billion. That is so much money. I can't even, like, what do you do with that kind of money? Is it even fun at that point? It's kind of like a Monopoly when you're winning so badly that it's just like not even fun to play because everyone else is like struggling so hard and you just have all this money. I mean, it's not a bad problem to have, but finally it starts to get old. It's like, okay, this isn't fun anymore. Okay, Snow White. It comes out, when does it come out? Expected March 21st, 2025. A whole other year? Wow. Gal Gadot, Rachel Zegler, and Andrew Burnap. I don't know who that is. Does anybody know who that is? Andrew Burnap. I'm guessing he's the prince. Anybody else in here that we know? No. I wonder how they're going to make Gal Gadot ugly. I think about that all the time. Like, what are they going to do to make her not pretty? And like the queen, or the witch is like kind of hunched back and short. And I'm just wondering, because Gal Gadot is so tall. I think it is Gal Gadot. I think we've been saying it wrong. She did say it. But it's kind of like the Rihanna thing. I don't think they care, but I do think we're saying it wrong. Also, did you know we've all been saying Travis Kelce wrong? Even Jason and Travis have been saying it wrong. It's not Kelsey, it's Kels. And someone at his dad's work years ago said, just call him Kelsey, and so they just went with that. So their real last name is Kels, just FYI. If any of you are wondering about that, now you know that information. Those are the two biggest stars of the show. Let's see. Yeah, Gal Gadot, but it's not for another year. So basically, pretty much an entire year from now. My God, go back. I've never seen the guy who's going to be the prince. What else is he in? Andrew Burnap was born in South Kingston, Rhode Island. He's an actor known for Snow White. It's not even out yet. We Crashed. Oh, that's that We Work thing. Oh, Under the Banner of Heaven. I never finished that. Did you guys finish that? Oh, he played Joseph Smith. Interesting. Okay, I have seen him then. I did see that part. Yeah, so there's that. What else? Jason Kelce is retiring. I don't know much about his stats, I guess. I don't know how long he's been playing football, but apparently a while. I would say. Oh, here we go. Jason Daniel Kelce, or Kels, is a former American. Oh, they already put former. Jeez, that didn't take him long. Football center who played his entire 13-year career for Philadelphia Eagles. Is that normal? I don't know if that's normal for sports people to play just on one team solely for their entire career. He played college football for Cincinnati Bearcats. He was selected by the Eagles in the 6th round of 2011 NFL draft. Interesting. He made quite a bit of money. I think he made like $60 million. What was his contract? Jason, football contract. This is what I do all day, you guys. Not all day, but when I get on these tangents. Was that him with long hair? No, that's not him. Yeah, that's definitely not him. Okay, Jason Kelce signed a 4-year, $2 million contract with Philadelphia Eagles, including $97,000 signing bonus, $97,000 guaranteed, and an average salary of $534,000. In 2024, Kelce will earn a base salary of $1.5 million while carrying a cap of $10 million and a dead cap value of $25 million. What does this all mean? I don't know what any of this means, so that's a lot of money. Jason Kelsey, 36, has made 81. I'm not trying to be rude, but he looks older than 36. Maybe it's the beard. Has made $81.7 million in his salary during his 13-year NFL playing career. Travis Kelsey has 34, has made $76.9 million over his 10-year career. Holy crap. That is so much money. That is so much money. In Travis Kelsey's article in the Wall Street Journal, I think that's the one I have, they were talking to someone, or I guess maybe it was the person writing the article, said that he goes to this after school program in Kansas City, and it was like for kids, I guess it's like kids that didn't have anywhere to go after school until their parents got home, or go anywhere at all, I guess, and they just do activities and stuff, and they were running out of room. They had so many kids, so he bought the building next to him and gave it to him. I'm like, that is so awesome. That is the kind of money I wish I had. I could just do that for people. But no, I can barely afford anything right now. I'm trying to pay off most of my debt. But I'm working on my car right now, so literally everything is going towards my car, which it's almost paid off. I just have to hold on a little longer, but my credit cards are all pretty maxed out. And I'm trying not to spend on the other credit cards that aren't paid off, because that's what I do. I start spending on the ones that, are all paid off, and then I just repeat the same cycle over and over again. I'm trying not to do that. So all these recurring payments are like, your payment has failed. Please update your payment method. And I'm like, please just give me a second. Just hold on. I'll get there. Because once my car is paid off, that's another $300 a month I can put towards other stuff. And so I'm like, please just give me a second. Just hold on. I'll get there. But it's pretty rough right now, I will say, you guys. I'm optimistic about the future, but right now we're in the trenches, and we might be in the trenches for quite a long time. Anyway, so congratulations, Jason Kelsey. I don't know, is that a normal amount of time for a athlete to play? I know that some people play, like Tom Brady, isn't he's in his 40s now? I think he's done now for good. But is he? Didn't he come back somewhere? I think he is done, though. I wouldn't have done that. I think that was kind of a mistake on his part. I wonder if he needed money, that's why he went back. Because he retired and then went back to some other team. I don't know. Anyway, I like him and I like Gisele. I'm sad that they didn't make it, but Gisele Bündchen's book is really good, too, if you guys are wondering. If you're wanting to read a celebrity memoir, hers is a good one to read. She's one of those people, she's in the category of she washes her face every night. She's just so disciplined and so on the ball and organized and very, very smart. I'm sure a lot of people think, they look at models and think that they're just airheads, but I think you have to be pretty smart to be very successful at modeling. Like, you have to be pretty headstrong and determined and kind of just know how to, what am I trying to say? Not barter. What is it trying to say? Negotiate. You have to be good at negotiating. Anyway, she's from this like little small town in Brazil, this little village, and she's a twin. Weird. It's just like, I know how she got discovered because it's in the book, but anyway, that's a tangent I didn't know I was going to go on. But yeah, you should read that book if you want a good celebrity memoir. Wish Jason Kelsey a good retirement with his $81 million. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, okay. What should I talk about first? I'll just go through these really quick. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw that they're releasing a Twilight animated series. I'm torn. I'm obviously going to hate watch it. Because I'll be honest, I don't love Twilight. It's okay. It's too gloomy for me, I think. but obviously it's a cult classic, so I'll still watch it, you know. But I remember one of the only movies I've ever gotten up and left the theater was New Moon. That was probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, you guys. It was so bad. But now looking back at it, it's kind of camp. It's kind of cool. So I'll still watch it now. Maybe I'll rewatch those soon. I have friends that absolutely love those movies. But now get ready for an animated series. I don't know much about it. I don't really know anything about it actually. I don't know if it's gonna be anime. I don't I don't understand how they're gonna do this, but I had a lot of mixed reviews from people who on Instagram would message me. Um, but yeah, there's that you can uh, you can look forward to. Um, Dolly Parton has a new cookbook coming out September 17th, which I thought was weird that she announced it so early. But my guess is she wants people to pre order so that they can kind of make the books order, you know, they can order the amount that they think they really need versus having tons of extra. But I bet it's good. I bought one of her packages of brownies, her Duncan Hines brownies. I haven't made them yet. I really want to get her like cinnamon crumb cake, and I want to do her sugar cookies because they've got cinnamon on them. So I have yet to do that. Maybe someday I will get to that and let you know how it goes. Anyway, September 17th, Dolly Parton's cookbook. She's releasing it with her sister. I didn't even know she. I guess I shouldn't say I didn't know she had a sister because basically her story of how she got started was that Coat of Many Colors song, you know. I don't think that's the song that started it, but she talked about having a ton of siblings and her parents were poor. Anyway, her sister is with her doing this book. Um, for my Salt Lake people, I guess Salt Lake's a pretty big hub now. So if you stop in Salt Lake and you're not from Utah, you know that the airport is massive, and it's not laid out in like a circular form. It's laid out in two really long strips, and to get to one of them, you have to walk underneath the tarmac. And basically, I heard if you walk from the parking lot to Terminal B, it is almost a mile long. And I can agree with that because it is very long. I don't usually fly out of Terminal B because that's where the poor people go. Just kidding. But Delta is Terminal A, and that's usually who I fly with. And but even if you get stuck like in Terminal A at Gate 1, it is at the very end of the airport. So they've had a lot of people complaining because there's only one tunnel to go underneath. And the reason they couldn't build the original tunnel first is because there was still the airport there and they hadn't torn that part down yet. That was still the last functioning part of the old airport. So now, once you come out of security and you turn right and you're in that big giant hallway, which is supposed to resemble like Zion's Canyon, that's what it's supposed to look like if you guys are wondering. There's that huge massive window that you can see out, and you'll go underneath that, and they'll have 6 moving sidewalks, and then eventually on each side there will be 2 trains taking you back and forth. It's still going to be a lot of walking. They don't have an option to go east and west, which is the length of the airport. So you'll have to walk quite a bit, but they have good restaurants there, you guys. They have California Pizza Kitchen. They have Gourmandies. They have Vessel Kitchen. They're going to get a Freddy's. They have Panda Express, Shake Shack, Blue Lemon. What else do they have? They have really good. Yeah, they have like Coach there for shopping. They have tons of bookstores. They have. It's not an Apple store, but they sell Apple products. But yeah, that opens October 22nd, and that should be very nice. It's supposed to resemble you walking on the floor of a river. Like the above you is like, it's kind of like that same look of the Zion's Canyon look, but that's like zigzagging lines. I guess that's not the right meandering lines. That's the better word for it. Anyway, and then they're building on Terminal B. They're building the second phase of that building, and it's going off to the east. So it's going to be a huge airport, you guys. It's going to be massive. By the time they're done with it, they're going to have 90 terminals. So, which is good because that means you can fly directly places now from Utah, which is so nice. Like you can fly directly to Amsterdam, to London, to Paris. Where else can you fly directly to? So that's pretty big. I hate layovers. I do not think it's worth it to spend less money to have a layover. I just don't. I think layovers are a waste of time. I know they're like inevitable. Like you'll always have to have one, but you always have to have one, but there will never be. I guess what should I say? There will never be a time where we don't have layovers. Maybe. I guess I shouldn't say that, but it's just how it all works. I don't understand how they keep it all straight, but apparently they do. Although Boeing is not doing well, you guys. I don't know if we want to be flying anymore. Did you hear that airplane that the tire fell off? And the one that when they got back, the door was open, the door was ajar. Or the one where the door flew off completely. This all happened within the last 4 months, too. Just keep that in mind. Okay, what else do I want to talk about? Oh, so Inside Out 2, they have a new commercial for it, a new trailer. And in the background, I don't know how people saw this. I have no idea how you... Like, it would have taken a lot of... to pause it in the exact moment that these guys found this image. I don't understand. Did you pause every single scene? Anyway, in the background, there's all these like TV screens, and on one of them, it's that meme they recreated of it's like the girl walking towards us and the couple walking away from us, and the guy's looking back like checking the girl out, and the girlfriend is like getting mad at him. They have that in there. I think that's so funny. Like, who thought to put that in there? And why? But yeah. Eugene Levy, he's the dad off Schitt's Creek. He got his star on the Walk of Fame. So that's kind of exciting. There's been a lot of that lately. A lot of people have been getting it. Wonder what they're going to do when they run out of room. Like, I guess LA's pretty big, but they obviously want to keep it within that, vicinity. Which is filthy, by the way, you guys, if you ever go there. It's like not what you're expecting. It's pretty dirty. Casey Musgraves joined Zach Bryan on stage in Chicago, and they sang I Remember Everything together for the first time ever. And that song, you guys, it's like butter. Oh, it's like... That's one of those songs that comes on, and you just instantly are excited because you love it so much. That's one of them. Maybe I should make a playlist of that. All the songs that I just absolutely can't get enough of, and anytime they come on, I listen to them no matter what. That would be Just Dance, The One That Got Away, I Remember Everything by Casey Musgraves, Hallelujah by Kate Vogel. I think she's on One Tree Hill, but her version is just amazing. I've listened to it for, I don't know, since middle school. So, a long time. Natalie Portman's getting divorced. I don't really know who her husband is, but it's been after 11 years she's getting divorced. I'm guessing he's an actor of some kind. I don't really know. They have new Barbies out. They have a Shania Twain Barbie and a Viola Davis Barbie. They have a couple others, but I can't remember exactly who they are. But Shania Twain's is the one where she's wearing the top hat. I think that's the music video of That Don't Impress Me Much. Is it that one? Or is it... Oh, I think it's Man, I Feel Like a Woman. I think it's that one. And Vanessa Hudgens is pregnant. So she debuted it last night on the red carpet at the Oscars, which I think is funny because 2 days before, someone's like, hey, are you pregnant? Like, they saw a picture of her and she's like, no, sorry, I'm human. I just forgot to wear my Spanx today. And then 2 days later, she shows up on the red carpet with this giant baby bump. It's like, she probably was mad. I'll give her this. She probably was mad because she wanted to debut it on the Oscars carpet. So when someone said that to her, which you should never say that to someone, ever, she probably got really upset and really annoyed that she was this close to being able to tell people about it. And then someone asked her that. So anyway, she and her husband Cole, who plays baseball, I think. Well, I know that, but he plays it for, I think, Phoenix, the Diamondbacks. Should we double check just in case? My mom's gonna be so mad that I don't know this off the top of my head. Vanessa Hudgens' husband. Someone's like, Baby V's having a baby. Cole Tucker. Let's see, what does he play on? Cole Tucker. American. He's only 27. Wow. Oh, Albuquerque Isotopes. It's an American professional baseball shortstop, an outfielder in the Seattle Mariners organization. So why is he playing in Albuquerque? Did he get traded? Anyway, that's him. And someone asked her, I guess, in an interview, or maybe she just said it from a question somebody asked her, but she said she doesn't regret her relationship with Austin Butler because it led her to her husband now. And she's the happiest she's ever been, she said. So that's good. Okay, we got to get into Eternal Sunshine, aka AG7, aka Ariana Grande's 7th studio album. For usually the last, so with Positions, Sweetener, Thank You Next was a little bit different. I like that one more. The first run through, I did not like those albums. I really still don't. I'm not a huge fan of them. And I think The Light Is Coming is truly one of the most horrendous songs I've ever heard in my entire life. I think that's on Sweetener. The fact that they thought that they ate that up is alarming, I will say. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, just search The Light Is Coming, Nicki Minaj, Ariana Grande. It is truly one of the most horrible things I've ever heard. It is so bad. It is almost like rude. I'm gonna say, like, you think we're that stupid to think this is a good song. Like, it sounds like someone came up with it on GarageBand in detention in middle school. Like, it is so bad. It is so bad. Anyway, I didn't mean to get on that tangent, but I just want you to know I hate that song. Anyway, this album is really good. I will say I've only listened to the whole thing one time through, but Supernatural and We Can't Be Friends, oh, I've listened to those songs so many times, just constantly repeating them. At first I like Supernatural better, but We Can't Be Friends, I think it's my new favorite. And it's just so sad. The premise is, it's like the music video is, she goes to this clinic or whatever, and she has to sign a document saying she's okay with them erasing this person from her memory. And she goes in and they hook her up to all these machines and stuff, and she goes through these memories with this guy who's Evan Peters. Evan Peters is the guy in he's Dahmer. He played Jeffrey Dahmer in Netflix and American Horror Story, and he's in X-Men. He's the fast guy. Anyway, it just shows all these memories of those two, like their dates they go on and all this stuff, and basically they're starting to erase all those memories from her mind because she's so sad when she thinks about them. And I'm not for sure, but I'm guessing it's referencing her ex-husband Dalton Gomez. There's a scene in Victorious where Ariana's like, she just starts singing. She's like, I'm not gonna sing it, but she's like, they didn't say I couldn't sing. And someone's like, Ariana, when Dalton Gomez's lawyers said that she couldn't talk about him after the divorce, and then she says that they couldn't say I couldn't sing. But basically it's like a relationship that ended not so well, and you're still in love with them, but it just will never work out, it'll never be, and so hence the We Can't Be Friends, I'll wait for your love. There's a scene in it, Jackson was making fun of me and all the other Ariana stans the other day, where it's like one of the final memories they're releasing, and she kind of wakes up and she starts to cry, and you can tell she's just so sad and so shaken up, and like so like it kind of triggered her. And I just think it's sad. I think if you've been in a situation like that, you understand it more than someone who hasn't really been through something like that with somebody. And uh, I don't know, maybe it hits harder because I have been through that, and maybe that's why the one that got away is so sticks in my brain so much, and is the one of my favorite songs of all time. Even though I'm like over that time of my life, but it took a long time, and it was just when it happened, it was not fun. And so just to see how emotional she got was it was sad. I will say it. Okay, make fun of me all you want, Jackson, but it was very, very sad, and I felt it. Um, but yeah, it's really good. I really like this album. Um, I don't. I was wondering if she's gonna tour. I don't know if she will, because she's got Wicked coming out. I would say if she's gonna tour, it'll be next year. Um, she'll wait a while, because I don't know. I guess unless she took a break in between um, the touring and the release of Wicked, but I guess that could happen. But I don't know. I don't know if she will tour. I have a feeling she won't, and if she does, it'll be a while. She was on SNL too with Josh Brolin, which they did really good. Like, it was a really good show. Josh Brolin's so funny. There was this. Well, first of all, Ariana sang "We Can't Be Friends," obviously, and "Imperfect You" or something. I can't remember the other song. Um, she did great, but she was in a couple skits too, and they were really funny. But Josh Brolin and oh, what is her name? She's one of my favorites right now on SNL. Heidi something. Anyway, there's this skit they do when they're in a bank, and these robbers come in, and Heidi and Josh Brolin are a married couple. And they're like, everybody, hands up! This is a robbery. They start saying, "All right, you sickos, you sick freaks. We know what you robbers like, and just get it over with." And like, basically, they're have a fetish of of being taken advantage of. And like, the more this show goes, the skit goes on, like, they start taking off their clothes. They have less and less clothes each time. They tie themselves up. They're like, "This is what you want, isn't it? This is what you sickos want, you sick freaks." Oh, and they're like, "We just so you know, we just opened up our relationship, so it's perfect for you." Anyway, it's a really good one. You should watch it. But so Ariana flew from New York, and then she was at the Oscars last night. And I'm sure that happens all the time. That's show business, baby. But that's just, I can't even imagine having to travel that much. I'm guessing she travels private. That's probably how it happens. So I think when that factors into it, it's a lot easier, because you literally can leave whenever you want. You don't have to go through security. You don't have to be smushed into a tiny little tin can with 7,000 other people. You probably have a bed you can sleep on. But even with that, traveling is exhausting. It's so tiring. Anyway, listen to Supernatural and We Can't Be Friends, and cry and reminisce on old flings or old friendships, and be sad, because that's what the song's for. But just the production value too of it was really good. It's very 80s-esque, with like a hint of video game console. You'll know what I mean when you hear it. But okay, now let's talk about the Oscars. We have a few moments left of this podcast that I can decide how long it is, but I guess in my mind it's only a few minutes longer. I'm gonna do my best dressed. There was a lot. These guys looked good, you guys, yesterday. Like, there's usually just a handful of people I like at these shows, and the rest of them were like, that's not very good. But all of these people looked so good. And the theme right now, the trend is like skin tight dresses, like body hugging dresses. And my favorite of the night was Emily Blunt in Schiaparelli. And Schiaparelli's that designer that Kylie's been wearing lately. And My friend Mallory did not like the dress. I'm like, what? Like the straps go up and over her shoulders. They don't rest on her shoulders. And but the rest, like the dress is just so perfectly fitted to her and looks so elegant and so pretty. And John Krasinski, her husband, was matching with her. Um, and they just look so cute. But she, every time I looked at her, I'm like, oh my gosh, she looks so good. She looks so good. She's the best one. Best one. Emma Stone, who had a wardrobe malfunction when she went up to accept her Oscar win for Poor Things. She won for, let me look at my little notes. She won for leading actress in Poor Things. Barbie didn't win anything, you guys. That really actually pissed me off quite a bit. I guess it did win one thing, but it was Billie Eilish. Thank goodness for her and Phineas for being there, because Barbie wouldn't have won anything. Barbie didn't even win set design. I'm like, are you kidding? It went to Poor Things, which their set was very good, I will say. But when you cause a national shortage of pink paint because of the set that you're making, that deserves an Oscar in and of itself. The fact that they built everything to scale and had everything life size and did it so well that it felt like you were actually not even, you're not playing Barbies anymore, you're in Barbie world. I don't understand it. I don't understand. I don't understand the snubs that they got, that Greta didn't get nominated. I just don't get any of it. Anyway, Emma Stone, she was wearing Louis Vuitton, which makes sense because she's one of the ambassadors of Louis Vuitton. America Ferrera, she's in Barbie. She's also in Superstore. If you guys haven't ever seen that show, you should watch it. It's hilarious. She was in Versace. It's kind of funny. You can tell. Well, I can. You can kind of tell which dress was designed by who, just by kind of like the style of it. So like Versace has a certain look, Dior has a certain look, Chanel has a certain look. So like Margot Robbie and America Ferrera were both in Versace, and if you look at them, you're like, oh, I can tell, like that, very similar designs. Jennifer Lawrence was in Dior, and I usually don't like polka dots. I don't know why, but I usually don't. But her dress was very, very, very well done, and she's also one of the faces of Dior, so that makes sense. Davine Joy Randolph, she was in The Holdovers. She was wearing custom Louis Vuitton. She looked very, very pretty. Anya Taylor-Joy was wearing Dior. She's one of the faces of Dior. Billie Eilish, I don't know if I said her, she was in Chanel. That's a design you can tell like right off the bat. I'm like, oh, that's Chanel. Just the fabric they use and all that stuff. She was wearing like a skirt and a blazer. She looked like she had just joined Kris Jenner and they had just built this billion-dollar company. That's like the vibe she was giving, like businesswoman, mogul. Like that's what she looked like, but she looked really good. And her hair was really pretty. And she sang last night, and her voice is just so soothing. I just love her. I love her so much. She's the youngest person in Oscar history to win 2 Oscars in a row, nominated twice and won twice, I think. So she won 2 years ago in 2022 for her song No Time to Die for the James Bond movie, which that song is phenomenal too. Anyway, she's so talented. It's crazy. And she's so just humble. She's really down to earth, which I like. She's not like snooty or in her head, or like she's not above anybody. I think she's just genuinely loves what she does and has fun with it. And it just shows that when you're passionate about something, you can make it kind of whatever you want based on, the effort you put into it and how much you truly love it. But yeah, Zendaya was in Giorgio Armani Privé. I don't know what the Privé means. I wonder if it's like a little bit step up from Giorgio Armani. She looked really good. She presented. Catherine O'Hara looked really, really good, but I think her dress was just some random dress she's had for a long time, because either that or they didn't get the name, because I could not find the name of it anywhere. But it matched the aesthetic everyone was wearing this year. The slender, like slim thing. Florence Pugh was in Delcor. I've never heard of that, but her dress reminded me of a lot of, if you've seen the new Dune, it's something that her character would wear. And I wonder if that played into why she decided to wear this dress. I love her. I love her so much. Haley Steinfeld looked really pretty. She was in Ellie Saab. Margot Robbie in Versace, like I said. Ryan Gosling, I liked his suit. Was pretty much the only suit I liked. His and Jonathan Bailey's, but Jonathan Bailey was in the picture I saw. He was in line for the Vanity Fair party, so it wasn't the Oscars red carpet. But those two suits were two of my favorites. Lupita Nyong'o was in Armani. Issa Rae was in Ami Paris. Ami Paris is the brand that Noah Beck always goes to their shows and models for. I think it's kind of like an up and coming. I could be wrong, but I had never heard of it until Noah Beck, so that's only a few years ago. And Eva Longoria was in Tamara Ralph, and I've never heard of that designer either, but her dress was stunning. Absolutely stunning. Okay, so for the awards, there's quite a few, and a lot of them aren't that interesting, like the animated shorts. I don't think you guys care about any of those kind of stuff. So I starred the ones that are the most important. Best Supporting Actress was Davine Joy Randolph from The Holdovers, which I've heard that movie's really good. When I was on my way to Hawaii, like most of the screens on the airplane were playing that movie. And my cousin Georgie watched it just recently, and she said it was really, really, really good. But I will say it's being accused of plagiarism right now, so we'll see how that turns out. But that's not a good look for this movie at this time, but you never know. Animated feature was The Boy and the Herring. It beat out Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, I think is what it's called. Makeup and hairstyling was Poor Things. I think Barbie should have won that. Production design was Poor Things. Barbie should have won that. Best costume design was Poor Things. Barbie should have won that. Supporting actor was Robert Downey Jr. It's his first Oscar win for Oppenheimer, which he did really, really good, I will say. What else? Which one? Cinematography was Oppenheimer, which I do agree with that one. They did really well. Best original song was Billie Eilish and Phineas for What Was I Made For the Barbie soundtrack, which just passed 700 million streams on Spotify, just FYI. Directing was Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer. That was I think it was his first win. Because we were talking, we're like, I wonder how many he's won. And then as soon as we said that, they're like, this is Christopher Nolan's first win. We're like, what? But he's been nominated a ton of times. Christopher Nolan, Oscars. How many Oscars has Christopher Nolan won? Christopher Nolan wins his first ever Oscar directing Oppenheimer. So yeah, that's crazy because I feel like he's pretty well known and well renowned for his movies. So to have that be his first win is crazy. Lead actor was Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer, obviously. Lead actress was Emma Stone for Poor Things, and Best Picture was Oppenheimer. They had 10 nominations for Best Picture. I don't know why they chose that many. Personally, I would have chose Barbie. That's just how it is. Oppenheimer was good. I'll probably never watch it again, ever. It's pretty boring, I will say. It's hard to follow, especially if you're not smart. But I think it's good to see, and to see it once at least. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever watch it ever again. Whereas Barbie, I actually went down to my room right after and turned on Barbie and went to sleep. Like, that's what I wanted to watch to fall asleep to. So yeah, I don't know. I just think that movie should have won a lot more than it did. Just for how nostalgic and iconic and, just record breaking it was. I think that it should have won a whole lot more. So performers were Billie Eilish and Phineas, What Was I Made For? John Batiste, It Never Went Away. Becky G, The Fire Inside. Ryan Gosling, I'm Just Ken, which was really, really good. And someone said he was channeling Marilyn Monroe in a movie she did. I can't remember, but she's like wearing pink, and all around her are guys dressed in black, and that's what Ryan Gosling was wearing, was pink. I think it was Versace or Gucci, and all around him were guys, other Kens in black cowboy hats and black shirts. It was good. I really liked it. And there was a moment between him and Emma Stone where they're singing together. I'm like, oh, just come full circle from La La Land. And Andrea Bocelli, I think it was his son with him. They sang "Time to Say Goodbye." It was from the memoriam, like where they honor all the people that have passed away. And they had Matthew Perry up there. That was really sad. And then they had a like Native American drum circle that they played. So those were the only performances of the whole night. And they actually didn't run out of time. All these award shows usually run out of time, but Jimmy Kimmel comes out. He's like, well, we have, some time to kill. So does anybody want to come up and say something? And what else? I don't know. They kind of just dragged it on for the last little bit, but it started earlier too. It started at 5 here in Utah, and I think they should all do that because, especially like the Grammys and these bigger award shows, they last so long. So it's like 10 p.m. by the time they're done. You're just so exhausted. 10 p.m. I am, at least. Anyway, that will do it for this week, you guys. Happy almost spring. Will it be spring next time I see you? Probably not. It's not 10 days. I think shortly after. Sorry, that was my phone turning on. Let's see. I'm going to check the calendar and see. So the first day of spring is the 21st, right? 21st or 22nd. It's a Friday. It's a good day. So no, it won't be spring next time I see you, but maybe it'll feel a little bit warmer. One can hope. Anyway, I hope you all have a good week. Please go follow me on Instagram. Please, if someone says, I really want to listen to a good podcast, please send them my way. If someone needs intense help with celebrity gossip, that's me. My friend Mandy actually messaged me the other day when I posted my newest reel. And I put Training Season by Dua Lipa over it. And she's like, Casey, what is this song? And I'm hoping she liked it. I don't think she never said anything back. But I'm hoping it was good, like a good, like I want to know what the song is so I can listen to it. But I'm like, this is what I'm here for. This is what I am here, is to help people and to tell people about music and TV and movies and, just everything that entertains us. Just the lighthearted stuff. I don't get into the hardcore, sad news stuff that most people consume on a daily basis. I like to be happy and joyful and entertained and silly. That's my motto. Anyway, yeah. Make sure you follow me on all those. Make sure you answer the questions on the podcast. Make sure you rate it. Please rate it. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Have a good week.